You should tell us a little bit about your garden.
Yeah. Okay.
I know you've been very...
My own Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. You've been sending along some pictures. And tell us about how it's developed.
Okay, well, yeah, so we have a backyard, and we just have like a little grassy area that basically, over the years, we've lived here 3 years, and this is our 3rd year, I guess. So, each year I kind of add a little bit more. Like the first year we planted some bushes, and then the next year like had some flowers and, grew some herbs. This year I actually put in like a 4x8 raised garden bed. Definitely was brought on by the pandemic, like need to self-sustain.
Yeah.
Can I do this? And turns out, yeah, I can, I think.
Wow.
So we've had a couple casualties. The basil did not make it.
Right.
I think when I planted it, it was, well, actually, like after I planted, I think in early April, must have been early April. And then we had like that period of really cold, raining weeks. And the basil just did not like that at all. And then I have 4 tomato plants, and there's 2 cherry tomato plants that seem to be doing really well. And there's one, I think it's a beefsteak tomato plant that seems to be doing okay. But then there was one tomato plant called a lemon boy, which I was really excited about. And I don't think he's going to make it.
Oh, not the lemon boy.
Yeah, lemon boy is not looking too good. Part of it, definitely, I take Basil out there on a leash. And he definitely likes to go in there, and he dug up my strawberry plant.
Oh,
and then like pooped on top of it. So I've had to be more diligent about monitoring him when he's outside. But of course there's like stray cats all around, and who knows what they're doing. I think they just see it as a giant litter box, unfortunately.
Oh no.
But besides that, we've already harvested some romaine lettuce and some bok choy.
Wow.
And I have some broccoli babies on the way.
Yes.
Nice.
So the interesting thing about it is, I don't have any experience with growing vegetables in like a real way. So I posted on Instagram about the broccoli, and this guy that I used to work with actually has recently like gotten really into gardening, and he gave me some hot tips about broccoli worms will develop like underneath the broccoli head, and you like completely can't see them. So he recommended like getting this spray for it that's not harmful to anyone but the worms, which it will.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I guess I need to get some of that.
Yeah, that's good to. Are they like what are these worms like? Are they like little, like the cute little inchworm, or is it like a worm?
Oh,
like a earthworm, I guess is.
Are these things cute or not?
Yeah, that's the question.
I want to say they're probably cute.
Right,
because like broccoli it's not that big.
It's not that big, but they're not cute when you're like bringing it inside and you're like, what is that?
No.
Under my broccoli.
But like, do you get like, I definitely learned this from getting our farm share, is like you would get like ears of corn, and it's just very common for them to have a worm in them.
Oh. I actually did not know that. We have 2 ears of corn in the fridge right now, so I'm kind of nervous.
But it's like, you just cut that part off and eat the rest of the corn.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But I think that these broccoli worms might be a little more harmful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a real disconnect with our food, not just us personally, I feel like, as a culture, and the idea that there are things that come attached to your food is something that we have been spared the past, 30 or 40 years. I was thinking particularly about fish. I don't know if we were cooking fish recently or somehow it came up, but like there are parasites in fish a lot of times. And it's totally normal to just remove them, but it seems like, really disturbing.
Yeah, I did
that
not know that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm never eating anything again. All the food is poison.
Well, it's funny. I mean, this has nothing to do with worms or parasites or anything. But even like potatoes or like greens, it's funny. I kind of like the farm that we get our farm share from. Like periodically, they'll send out newsletters, and every so often, like they remind people, like, oh, like if there's like some like dirt on your vegetables, it's because they come from the ground, which is full of dirt, and you're gonna have to wash them. Like we're a small farm who's like just trying to get this food to you. Like we're not gonna wash it before that happens. So like you're going to have to wash this, and that's normal.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if people are used to getting their stuff from the grocery store, it's like pristine, wet, misted,
Totally.
Like,
Totally. Yeah, and even like you get the spinach that's like in the little box and it's been washed 3 times and you're like, cool. Just gonna dump this. Just gonna dump this straight into my pot or whatever.
It's all the supermodel food.
Yeah, but I'm impressed that you're growing a whole garden in your backyard in Brooklyn.
Thanks. Yeah, it's really exciting. Like every day I kind of go out there and like it's really fun like watching them grow. One of the most exciting parts so far has been like I had this bag of sunflower seeds that I got from the farm share, and I was like, oh my God, like I am not gonna crack every single one of these open to get the seed inside, and like, what am I gonna do with these?
Yeah.
And my mom actually was like, well, why don't you just like throw them in the backyard and see what happens? I was like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And so I actually kind of regret doing it in the garden bed now. But anyway, I like planted a bunch of seeds in the garden bed just to like see. I threw a ton in there. And they're growing. And so I'm going to have like a ton of sunflowers.
Oh my gosh.
That's exciting.
That's cool. Sunflowers are so beautiful. But yeah they're going to take over, aren't they?
I think
they're
so.
huge.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
It'll be cool, but
Yeah.
okay, I missed out on like 4 other tomato plants, I guess.
Right. Well, now you know for next year.
Yeah.
Had your mom or dad tended to gardens growing up? Like, did you have an exposure to it prior?
Yeah, my mom for sure. And she still does. She lives on like a huge plot of land, and she doesn't do too much of it, but her husband now, Tom, he has like a whole like hoop house, and like he's always out there like tending their vegetables. So I got a lot of advice from him when I was starting this. He's the one who told me that my basil was doomed, basically.
Oh.
But he also was the one who told me that there were a few days when it was going to get below 40 degrees. And he was like, oh, you have to protect your tomato plants because, they like it to be like really hot and sunny. And if it gets too cold, they'll die. And so I like went out there and I like covered them with little buckets.
Oh.
It's like had to like tuck in my tomato plants.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you were already able to get lettuce. I mean, I know nothing, so obviously I'm sure that's possible. But was that expected relative to what you had learned about them prior to planting? That like the lettuce and the bok choy was something that was going to be harvestable right away?
So the lettuce and the bok choy, they actually love cold weather. So they've been doing really well. I mean, I still don't really know anything about like maturing days. I've kind of just been doing it by sight. But I think like lettuce and greens like usually take 20 days. And I guess it's actually been, longer than that. But the thing that I did learn about them, because I was kind of like contemplating, was it worth planting these bok choy plants? Because like I personally could eat a whole bok choy for, in one meal.
Sure.
And, it's sort of like, what is the point of doing this rather than just like buying one bok choy? Because, but now that I've actually harvested them, the trick is, because I have four bok choy plants, and you know, instead of like pulling up the whole thing like you would normally see at the grocery store,
Right.
you just cut off the outer leaves. And so I like cut off all the outer leaves from all 4 plants, and basically was able to get a big enough bundle for dinner that night. And then the plants keep growing.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And so like the same with the romaine lettuce.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Oh, so
Like
you just
you-
pull off like what you want.
Yeah, so because, you know, like, yeah, like you wouldn't like harvest the whole plant like you would see in the grocery store,
Yeah.
let's say. But yeah, you just take off like however many leaves you want, and then that allows the plant to keep growing and growing and growing.
That's so cool.
That is very cool. Jesse and I had a similar, I guess, discussion
About
this
the
week.
green onion? Yeah, I read online. I was so excited. I read that if you take the green onions and you put them in water, you can use like the green part, and then if you put the white part in water, it'll keep growing.
Whoa, really?
And it happened so fast, and I did it, and in like 2 days, I had 2 inches more, and I
Wow.
used it. But then Mike was not happy that they were on the counter, so we stopped doing it.
Yes, I was the counter to this counter plant growing operation.
Yeah, it's fair. We have not very much counter space, but I would like to
Could
do
you
that.
keep it in the fridge?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know if you can. I should look that up. No, we disposed of it. But I would like to find a spot to do stuff like that, because it seems so cool, and it's like also it's nice to be self-sufficient, and it's also just nice that this little plant can keep giving. Like, I never knew that I could even use that part, and it's like it's still alive, and you can like just use that one bit, and like there's so much that's nice about it.
On face value, I like the idea. It just is the combination of that with our kitchen, where our kitchen's so small, even something that's this, I mean, I think it may have even
I
been
think it was
growing
in this cup.
in this cup. It just adds to this thing where like it looks perpetually dirty in our kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, and because there's just not any counter space. I mean, our kitchen is not bigger than this table.
Yeah.
And so if not everything is like back, it just looks like there's dirty dishes and we're not tending to our house. And
I heard that.
You know, that
It's fair.
it's not worth the price of getting green onions every 3 weeks to a month, you know?
Yeah,
So-
I guess like it's exciting to me because it's like it's not about the price, like the monetary value, like green onions are like 95 cents or something, but it's just like, oh, look at this thing that I can do. But I also had no problem just not doing it. And in the future, I will do it because now I know that I can.
Well, Jesse was like, just throw it out without me. Don't let me know.
I did say that. I did.
Yeah.
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 So I made it part of what I was cleaning up the kitchen. That's when it went away.
Yeah.
But maybe someday. I mean, we do have plants around the house, so.
Yeah,
just-
we do.
Yeah.
Just nestle it. with
Yeah,
one of
I'll
those.
put it next to the aloe or something next time.
That's right.
See how that goes.
Yeah.